All right, there we go. I just didn't want to make the same mistake, do my whole presentation without it on. All right, here's it go. So my workshop today is on ages and stages. I'm so excited to see so many people on. So as you guys know, that there's four main characteristics of children, and also I'm gonna invite all the counties to actually open up their cameras because I want to see all your beautiful faces. I want to see all you guys participating. So if all the counties could unpause their cameras, that'd be awesome. Perfect. What's up, Kane County? So there's four major characteristics of children. The first one's physical, and that's just the physical development, and that kind of just refers to how you grow and like how you develop throughout your life. Social development is the interaction children have with others and kind of the ability to, be social, make new friends, and just overall function in a social setting. Emotional development, it looks at how they kind of handle their feelings and express those feelings and how they mature expressing those feelings in a appropriate way. And intellectual development is just basically about how they learn. So with you guys, I'm going to be focusing on the two younger age groups because that's going to be the majority of who you guys are teaching, which is the early childhood and the middle childhood. So early childhood is ages 6 through 8, and the middle childhood is 9 through 11. And then most of you guys fall under the young teens or the teens category. So we're going to be focusing on the two major categories that you guys are going to be teaching. So I just kind of want to let you guys know that all the patterns, and you guys should have a sheet that kind of has all the patterns based on the ages, but it's a generalization. So there might be people in that age group that don't necessarily align with these patterns. And so, but developmental isn't orderly. It doesn't happen randomly, and it happens in a sequence, but some kids are just farther along that sequence than others. Development is most rapid during the early stages of infancy and adolescent years. As we look at the four age groups, we'll be able to see this rapid growth. And then what I said before, not all children develop at the same pace, and not all children possess the same temperament. So now what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have everybody stand up. It doesn't matter too much if you're on your own or not, but I'm going to have everybody stand up, and I just want you to fold your arms, and we'll see if this works. But so something that happens with people is half and half. So people either fold their arms with their left arm over or their right arm over. So I want you guys to split into groups. Do you have a question, Mary? Doesn't look like it. So I want you guys to split into two groups depending on which arm's on top, because we're going to be doing an activity right now. And then, so with the people who are on their own, once you go into your breakout rooms, just split in through there. And if they're not even, just kind of move around to make them even. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds to do that. Just make sure you have two even groups. They don't have to be exactly even, just even enough that you guys have appropriate groups, I guess. Alrighty, looks good. So once you guys have those groups, I want you, the people in person, to kind of go and sit in those groups. And you guys should have these big poster boards that you used with Ashlyn as well. I want each of you guys to grab one of those and markers and whatever you need to write down stuff and kind of bring it back to your area. And then people at home, just feel free to use a pencil and a notebook, and you guys can do that really fast. So what I'm going to have you guys do once you kind of have those poster boards and those sticky notes is I'm going to have you guys make a stick person and then write each of the characteristics of development, and kind of I'll assign you guys into groups. So the four characteristics are physical, social, emotional, and intellectual. So I just kind of want you guys to write that down before I break you out into groups, because it doesn't look like sharing your screen works in the breakout rooms. All right, awesome. So now I want you guys, if you had your right arm over, I want you guys to be in charge of early childhood, which is 6 through 8 years old. And if you had your left arm over, I want you guys to be in charge of middle childhood, which is 9 through 11 years old. So I gave every one of you guys kind of a sheet to reference if you run out of ideas, but I want you guys, I'll give you 10 minutes to kind of come up with ideas and come up with as many, list as many ideas that you have for each one of these categories on the stage of development that these kids are in and what you can do to help teach them. So I'll stick you guys into your breakout rooms now.
The handouts should have been printed off.
Yeah, I hope so. Alrighty, and then feel free to go ahead and work and be as creative as you want, be as fun as you want. And then I'll call on a couple of you guys afterwards to share your ideas.
Can you just really quick repeat your instructions for us?
Yeah, so once you guys have that sheet, I want you to kind of draw a person. It can be a stick figure, whatever you want. If you have an artist, you can make it accurate. But then I want you to list the four characteristics of development, which are physical, social, emotional, and intellectual. And then you should have had a email with a reference sheet that you can print out. And if not, if you haven't printed that out, it should just be in your county mail. And I want you guys to come up with ideas on how your age group, kind of how you can adjust or I guess focus in on each of these areas of development to teach them the best way you can. All right, have fun, guys. I'll be right with you in about 6 minutes now. Alrighty, I'll give you guys 1 more minute. Don't feel stressed if you don't have too much. I'll just call on you guys and you can share one category you have. Awesome. I see people starting to come back from the breakout rooms. Once everyone's back, I'm going to call on counties. I'll have 8 counties share. I'll just call you out based on if you're done or not. So. All right, perfect. It looks like everybody's back. So we're going to start with 6 to 8-year-olds on physical, and I'm going to have Washington County. If I can have you guys come up.
We would love to.
Perfect, thanks.
Here they come. You gotta be on camera though.
Are we on camera? Right here.
Yeah, I want to see you guys, your smiling faces because you're so happy to be at a 4-H event, right? Well, smiling with your eyes.
Sit back a little bit.
So if you guys could just kind of read out to me what you guys put to physical, and what my plan is that after you guys are done, I'll have each county send me a picture of it. I'll put it in a slideshow, and then I'll send it to each county as a PDF, and you can look at what all the other counties said and kind of figure out, how to best apply this to when you guys are planning your tri-team events. So let's hear it, Washington. What's the physical? Let's hear how can you teach this age group?
So in the social part, they like to be in small groups and in independent, they like individual attention. And so giving them lots of attention and being specific to their needs. And they also like to be with the same gender. And so being aware of that being more comfortable for them. The intellectual part, they have a short attention span. So to make things so it doesn't take a long time, something short and simple for them. They always like to be always doing things, but they may not complete what they started. And they like to explore and have that opportunity to do a lot of variety of things.
For the emotional, they don't accept failure and they seek adult approval a lot. And on the physical aspect, they like to be physically active, but they are slow and they have slow and steady grip.
All right, thanks you guys. That was awesome. So I'm just going to kind of add some stuff in that I think is important for each of these. So physical with 6 through 8-year-olds, it's kind of hard because their small muscle skills aren't developed completely, and there's a lot of challenges with working with the young kids. So it might take them longer to do tasks that require them to use their small motor skills. They can find it difficult to complete a worksheet because they can't hold a pencil very well, and their attention span is really short. So as we work with the young age in relation to their physical development, we should focus on activities that encourage the use of large motor skills, like running around or fun activities like that, rather than small motor skills. With social, I love what you said, that they're more comfortable in their groups with their gender groups. But I think that at this age group, it's important to break them into small groups to encourage them to kind of get out of their comfort zone and interact with children with whom they usually wouldn't play with. And so this will help them develop their social skills with other children. And we do need to be mindful that some kids won't be comfortable with that. But I think that at this age, it's healthy to kind of start getting them out of their comfort zones. With social at 6 through 8, they love to be doing skits and plays and things like that. So what's up, Jolene?
Just pretend.
Yeah, pretend, exactly. So with emotional, some things that we can do with 6 through 8-year-olds is keep a positive attitude. Our attitude is everything at the younger age because they look up to older kids and they really relate to you. And so your attitude means everything based on how your activity goes. Be supportive and encouraging, especially when you see that they're frustrated. Just again, everything that you think and everything that you put out, they'll kind of embrace. And then plan activities that promote success and focus more on cooperative activities rather than competition and kind of strenuous activities that kind of challenge them. Make sure that you have stuff that they will succeed in. And then last, intellectually, we can help this age group with their intellectual development by planning activities with a shorter time frame. So with 6 and 8-year-olds, 6 to 8, generally 15 to 20 minutes is appropriate for the maximum time that they'll be able to focus. Don't worry as much about the final product as much as the process. As long as the kids are having fun, you should celebrate and allow them to explore and answer questions if they have them. So next, we're going to go to middle childhood, and I'm going to ask Sevier County to unmute and turn on their video and kind of share with us their 4 stages of development for 9 through 11 years old. Is that all right, Sevier County?
I think that was Barbie, and oh, it looks like Nan is trying to get their sound to work. Okay,
All right, sounds good. We
Barbie and
So while that's going, is there anyone in the individual groups, if you guys can put stuff in the chat that you guys have ideas for this, I would love to see it. Yeah, we can have Emory County. It looks like you guys are ready. We can have you share real quick. I saw your smiling faces. I'd love to hear what you guys put. Man, we got a bunch of shy people today, huh?
Okay, can you repeat that? Hey, we're here, I promise.
Holy loud. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, if you guys have your middle childhood, you're 9 to 11 years old, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe if you could turn down your mic or kind of step away from it a little bit, that was a handful. You really woke me up. So if you guys have something to share, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, guys, go ahead. Is that better? Is it too loud now still?
It's still pretty loud.
We can't hear you. How do we turn it? Oh, sorry, we're trying to figure out how to turn us down. We're having a pretty good time here.
Like it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, come back to us on that one. We're trying to figure this out.
All right, no problem. So while Nan and Emory County are trying to figure out their audio, I'll kind of just go over each section and then I'll hear what you guys had to say. So with physical, as we work with 9 through 11-year-olds with physical, we can, some things we can do to help their development include providing active learning experiences, hands-on experiences, where they're up and moving and not sitting and listening to a lecture. Kids at this age are also beginning to be more competitive between boys and girls. Try to avoid competition between the gender groups. This age group is super active and can't sit still. They will experience a growth spurt during this time, and the girls will generally start to become more mature, and the boys will still be, boys will be boys at this age, but girls generally start to mature at this time. With social, it's important to allow them to be with their same gender group so that they're more comfortable and will participate better. Right now is when they kind of, since they enjoy working in groups, incorporate groups that foster cooperation. We can also encourage their social development by involving older youth to be mentors for this age group, which is exactly what you guys are. They look up to you guys and will model your behavior. So just keep that in mind while you're teaching, the middle age group. So kind of like 9 to 11, that kind of general range is that they look up to you guys. So how you act, they'll model your behavior. With emotional, it's important for us to recognize and not compare youth to each other, but recognize each child for their strengths. We can also place emphasis on the individual progress they make and as they complete a task or work on their project. Children at this age, they want everything to be fair and everything to be equal. They often judge things in absolutes with very little middle ground. So either they love your idea or they hate your idea. they feel like they need to be part of something important, and they'll question authority, but at the same time, they still want guidance. So they start to become more individualized, but they still want to hear, like, have guidance. And then lastly, intellectual is we can help them develop intellectually by providing simple, short directions and by keeping learning experiences brief. We can also provide a variety of different activities that will ensure success for each child. It might take a little more time to plan, but the results will be way worth it. This group is easily motivated and eager to try new things. However, if they lose interest, it happens really, really fast. So favorite subjects will start to emerge as they discover their interests, and often they'll explore hobbies and collections related to these interests. Youth will vary greatly in academic abilities and reasoning skills. So those are what I had, but are either of those counties ready? I'll give you guys 3 minutes, and if you don't have them figured out, we can just end. Alrighty, I will take that as a no. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stick my phone number in the chat, and I'm gonna have each individual or each county. I want you guys to take a picture of your poster and send it to me. And then I'm gonna make that, I'm gonna organize it and I'm gonna stick it into a PDF and send it out to all you guys, since we didn't get to hear all your ideas, and I'm sure they're all great. So I'm gonna stick it into the chat now. And if you guys could all, you could all do it right now. Technology is kind of amazing. So if you can take that picture and send it to me, I'll stick it into this presentation and I'll send it out to each county, and you can all kind of have an idea of what all the other counties put and model that when you guys are planning your activities. So thanks so much, you guys. I'm so excited to see so many people here. It's a great turnout, and I love to hear all your ideas, and I know that you guys are going to be great. So thank you so much for your participation. And we're going to go to another game with Spencer.